Hello everybody, my name is Kenneth and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be checking out a kind of a catch-up video as I'm a lot behind in reaction stuff. Today we're going to be checking out eaJ and Salem Ilese. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing her name. Their song Burn. Um, I've had it in my watch later since the video came out on YouTube, and I've been really putting it off. Um, Housekeeping before we get into this. Pause warning: this is not the original content. This is not a replacement for the original content. If you would like to see the original content, please go and support the original content. How many times can I say the words original content before they're no longer words? I am autistic, and so I often will pause, not just because this is a reaction, but I actually genuinely do pause when I watch things, not for reactions, but for reactions. It allows me to, it gives me time to process what I want to say, and also helps me not miss as much, because this is the first time I'm seeing this. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm a huge fan of eaJ's. I'm not really aware of Salem's music, Salem Elise's music, beyond, I think, the PS5 song, PS4, PS5 song. But I'm really looking forward to this. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into this. Oh, I like how this sounds already. First of all, I need to turn this up a little bit. First of all, I love how happy he is in this music video so far, this visualizer. Genuinely, seeing where he's kind of his journey and things like that, outside of music and the world, it's really nice to see him just happy. I'm gonna go back because I could hear the guitar. It was a bit too low for me, and I apologize for that. I thought I had my levels set up beforehand, but yeah, let's go. Oh, I like that. I like that. On that lyric there's like a reverb. I think there might have been doubling as well, but there was a reverb. Oh, I like that. I always really enjoy eaJ's lyricism, but the rhythm of these lyrics so far, oh, they're so good. They're so good. Sorry. That's such a clever line. I gave it to you. Now you're burning up your life, but you did it to you. And I hate to see you hurt, but you really gotta learn. So burn, baby. I'm gonna come back to this because I really need you. Lyrically, I'm loving the way a lot of eaJ's music in the past that I've really enjoyed. I enjoy this too, but that I've really enjoyed. A lot of the music in the past has been quite self-deprecating a little bit. Just in my head, I can think of the lyrics for Castle in the Sky. And I like that this is a different mood than his older music, in terms of, rather than almost accepting that he's the problem when perhaps he's not. I like the fact that in this song he's putting this on the other person. He's giving the other person what am I trying to say? He's not the problem in this situation necessarily. Um, and rather than dragging them down, it's the relationship is broken down because of this other person. Um, I don't know. It just feels like such a just on like the journey of his music. It just feels nice that he's not so self-deprecating. But yeah, I love in the verse the way that he used like a contrasting thing, a contrasting structure. You say this, but it's actually this. Um, you know, um, and I'm loving the fire metaphors, and also the obviously we're gonna go back to the kind of the big moment here, but I love the use of the burn baby burn. It's such a cultural phrase, if that makes sense. I think, um, but it's so like when I hear it, I think of that song "Burn, Baby Burn," do 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 do, um, and so it's interesting the way that he's approached such a it's three words, but such a simple three-word phrase, and has made it so unique sounding. Um, Yeah, because I wanted to say what I wanted to say. I knew I had to go back. So I'm just gonna, we're gonna be starting from here. I love that drum so too. Ooh. Okay. Okay, first of all, their voices work really well together. I don't know if we're gonna get like a duetted chorus, but just the flowing from eaJ into Salem there, it works so well. And I think she has such an interesting texture to her voice. Um, and I don't know. I don't know. Again, I haven't heard much of her music beyond the kind of the PS4, PS5 songs. Um, but she has such a unique. It's almost like a singing in cursive kind of voice. Um, but it's so interesting. I love this chorus refrain. I'm sorry. That was a great. That was such a great lyric. I said I'd see you around, but I didn't mean literally. I love um I love the way that if you imagine them as characters, um we're getting two sides of the same story. Um and this is what I was kind of meaning earlier. I think it would have been very easy for each to kind of be like, I'm the problem, da 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 da. Whereas in this song, he's very much you're the problem, and you're the reason we can't do anything. But then Salem comes back, and the character I'm just going to say the character of Salem comes back with, yeah, I did some things, but you did some things too. And I mean, like, what are you doing outside of my house? I'm sorry, that's such a great lyric. um, But it's interesting as well because that lyric almost harkens back to the first verse, because obviously each has that lyric where it's like you burn down the house, you're so feisty and angry and stuff, you burn down. So it's almost like while she's potentially moved on and whatnot, he hasn't found his place almost. And I'm going to say the character, hasn't found his place. And so he is, while the line is, in a realistic context, we'd kind of be like, what are you doing here, kind of, metaphorically speaking, it's almost like he's hanging around because he still has a level of attachment, and he hasn't maybe found his own place in that that he feels he can exist in, and so he is kind of using that as a bridge almost, I guess. I'm really enjoying this. I as I said, I put this in my watch later because I knew I wanted to react to it, but I just didn't know when I would finally get around to it. I really like this. As always, the instrumentation in this is but I expect nothing less. Such a great lyric. Well, I can. Oh, that's so interesting. So eaJ is obviously taking the main vocal here, but you can hear Salem off to the side. And it's almost like a whisper in the mix. It feels like her vocal is coming louder. I love how their voices are blending. Like at times it sounds like it's just her, but then you hear like a texture that doesn't quite feel like her voice, and then you can, or at least I in my head I can then separate the two a little bit. Oh, this is. I love the way that it's become one voice. Oh, that's a lovely high note. Oh, that was pretty. That's such a pretty harmony. Oh. No, I need to hear that again. Oh, that's such a pretty way of ending it. Ah. Before I finish the last kind of 10 seconds here at the video, I love the way that it's almost like a fire, the song structure. You kind of have it building up throughout, like the first verse, chorus, second verse, second chorus, and then you kind of got to its kind of zenith, and then almost like a fire does, it kind of burned out to that lovely little almost call and response kind of section there at the end, and then with the harmony, oh, it was so nice. I love I don't know what gloves off refers to, but I love it. I love it. Obviously, I didn't get deep into like lyrics and things like that on this, but I really, I always struggle like coming up with like final thoughts to songs often because I say so much when I'm reacting. Um, but I love the way with this song we got the kind of two sides of the story, and then at the end it was almost, yes, what I said earlier, kind of like the burning out of a flame, but it was almost like washing their hands, kind of like, yeah, we had our moment, off you go, burn, you know. It's not my job to clean up after you anymore. Um, I found it really interesting the way that the visualizer was done. Obviously, Salem didn't feature in the video in terms of an appearance, um, and I get that with it being a visualizer rather than a music video. Um, for maybe that kind of it's, I feel like in the kind of the, oh, what's the word, the layer, no, the order of things. Um, a visualizer's more like chill, if that makes sense. But I liked at the end there, especially when you had um, each's part into Salem's part. You had this like almost like double exposure. So certainly like an overlay um, effect where you had each facing one way and then each facing the other way overlaid on top. Um, Almost like he was kind of playing both roles um, there. Again, I really love how happy he looked throughout this. Obviously, the song is about what the song is about. A kind of a passionate, fiery, um, reckless kind of relationship. Um, but just seeing him be able to kind of just be like almost just be himself and just kind of let go. Um, it was nice to see that. Um, I did also really enjoy the fact that we didn't just get each's side of the story. Um, I think a duet was perfect for this because it could have been very easy for this song to just kind of be like, this is what you did, this is what you did, this is why this is over, we're done, blah blah blah. Um, with no rebuttal from from the other person. And so it was nice having that counterbalance there with Salem. Again, just the baby, boom boom. The drum does something to me there, and the way the song was kind of building up at the end, it kind of, and this is not necessarily a bad thing, but it lost its impact. So in the beginning, obviously, you kind of had that burn baby, and then like almost like a millisecond of silence before boom boom. Um, but then as the song kind of went on, um, the impact of the actual drum um kind of became less and less in the mix because of all of the other elements that were still in it. In the first the first and the second chorus, refrain, whatever you'd like to call it, there wasn't anything underneath the drum at that point. Um, and it was just the drum, and then the lyric comes back in after the accompaniment too. Whereas at the end, where you still had everything kind of as a foundation and baseline underneath it, baseline as in not a baseline necessarily, but like something underpinning it. You had um, it lost it lost its strength, and it's almost like that was like a musical foreshadowing of kind of where we were going structurally with the song, because obviously once there's nothing to burn, a fire goes out. Um, And so actually, you know what? I like that now. Now that I think about that, no, I like that. Um, I really like that. um, yeah. I know the song's only 2 minutes and 34 seconds. Well, 2 minutes and 25, 24, 25 technically. Um, because of the credits are 10 seconds longer. Um, but it didn't feel too short. I feel like a lot of songs now that are that length are very repetitive, um, to the point I sometimes go, does this song have anything it's trying to say, or is it just catchy for catchy's sake? But again, with eaJ has a lot of shorter kind of songs. Um, but with his kind of songwriting, it feels intentional. It's not a case of here's a hook repeated 10 times in a row, song done kind of thing. Um, to me it feels like this is what I want to say in this song, or this is what I feel needs to be said in this song. Um, and I don't need to waffle. I don't need to, you know, drag anything out. Um, and I think I don't think short songs are inherently bad. Um, and especially don't think this song is bad, bad quote unquote. Um, but yeah, it didn't feel like I needed it to be an extra minute for it to make its point as a song. Um, but yeah, um, yeah, I really like that. I know I'm a month late, around about a month late, to this song. Um, but no, I'm glad I checked this out. As I said, did I say it in the beginning? If I didn't say it in the beginning, I've always been a fan of eaJ's music. Um, and I feel like his songwriting never lets, um, never lets a song down, if that makes sense. You always know there's a standard with his music. Um, again, while I don't know if I have credits here. Um, Salem, okay, Salem did co-write the song with Jay and Charles Robert Nelson. So I feel like, because I didn't want to speak just on eaJ's lyrics as if he wrote the song start to finish alone. Um, I feel like Salem's verse, I'm assuming each wrote kind of his verse, um, as like a lead writer, and then Salem wrote her verse, and then they came together across the rest of it with was it Charles, with Charles, yeah, Charles Robert Nelson. Um, yeah, I feel like because of the way you still had obviously this similar structure to the verses, but you could tell that they were different perspectives, and it wasn't just the same person trying to look from the same perspective. I feel, um, yeah, I really enjoyed this. Um, yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. As I always say, this is not a substitute for the original content. Please go and support the original content. I really, really like this song. Um, I'll have a link to the visualizer in the description. Um, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone. Bye.